right, folks, John Rush here today. My son Richard Rush behind the camera. This is the all-new for 2017 Honda CRV. This is the touring edition of this car. Yeah, it's been completely redesigned for 2017. Not just a fascia here or a bumper, change there. Totally redesigned, much more aerodynamic. A lot of great things on this car. Let's get right into it. So as we get into this vehicle, look into the front here. By the way, fantastic lighting system on this car. Really, really like the way this car works, even at, or especially at night, I guess I should say. Nice sloping front end. They've got the drag coefficient down on the car. Real quick, this is the #1 selling SUV in America, and it has been for the past 20 years. Now, some of you would say, really? It has been? Yep, that's the fact. 20 years, best-selling SUV. As we go through the interior of this car in a moment, I think you'll see why. And frankly, even being a RAV4 fan myself, after driving this car for the past week, I will tell you right now, when people ask me which car to buy, RAV4 versus CRV, I'm going to tell you CRV. And I'll just say that straight up. We just got done driving a RAV4, reviewed it. You can actually see that down in the sidebar. And partially in the past, my explanation as to why not to buy the CRV was was not a big fan of the CVT transmission. But I will tell you, after driving this particular car, driving it for the past week, averaging in the mid-30s on fuel economy, 33.6 to 35, right in that range. This has got a 1.5 liter turbo engine, 190 horsepower, and that engine comes on the EX, the EXL, and the Touring. If you get the very standard version CRV, you end up with a different engine in it. I would opt for this particular engine and transmission configuration if it were me. And this does not feel like you're driving a CVT when you drive the vehicle. When we get into the driving portion, I'll kind of explain that. But this is an absolute fantastic vehicle. And one of the things it's got is the easy access hatch where you just kick your foot. We'll show you that here in just 1 second. We'll get into the interior portion of it. But great vehicle. This vehicle, as it sits, real quick price, $34,595. And I tell you what, you get a ton of car for the money. Let's get into the back end in just one moment. All right, folks, one of the things we want to show you again is the interior portion of it, but in the back hatch, vehicle is locked, key fob is in my pocket. If I walk up, it's got the easy access hatch, we call it. Walk up, kick the foot underneath, and you'll notice that it'll pop right open. Kind of a nice feature. If your hands are full, you're able to just walk up and open the vehicle that way. Let me move the privacy screen up where you can see a little bit better, because I do want to talk about the back end. A lot of room in the back end of this vehicle. 39.2 cubic feet with the seats up, seats down 75.8. Now I did a little bit of a comparison. Just in turn, we've got a Grand Cherokee my wife drives, and it has 36 cubic feet in the back and 68. So believe it or not, you're getting more room here in the back end. It's configured a little differently. It's a little bit taller, a little bit narrower, but the way it's all put together, it's actually larger than the Grand Cherokee, which I didn't think that it was initially, but after looking at the figures, it is. Real easy access. If you want to fold the seats down, you pull this, and you'll notice that seat's going to fold down all by itself, which is a nice, handy feature. And the floor is virtually flat, so if you get both seats down, you've got a lot of room back here. Open up this little cargo thing in the back. You'll notice the spare tire, which is a full-size spare. And again, some room in the back to actually put some other things back here. Some, if you wanted to put a blanket or a jacket or a med kit or some water, things like that, you've got the ability to do that. A lot of basic storage area in the back. And again, I love the way the hatch works in the back. And you can actually hold, or if depending upon how your garage apartment configuration might be, I shouldn't say apartment, but carport, things like that, you do have the ability to adjust how high this back end actually comes up. So let me fold that down, and I'll hop into the second row seating here. Oh, I forgot, didn't have it unlocked. So unlock the vehicle, hop into the back. And this seat, by the way, right here, is back a long way. I mean, a full-size adult, well over 6 feet tall, could be in the front seat. And as you'll notice, I've got well over a hand width of knee room here. And again, if I want to put this seat back up, which I will, just fold it back up. There is a center console that folds down here in the middle with a couple of cup holders. You do have a couple of power ports in the back and some vents. And as we look into the side apportionments, and again, this is the Touring model, but really they've done a nice job with the wood grain, soft touch material throughout. Really, Honda, Absolutely a superb job that you've done on the interior. Lots of headroom back here. We had very large full-size adults that were able to get in and out of the back of the vehicle. And again, very easy access. You can see why after I've been in this vehicle for a week, I can see why this is the best-selling SUV in its segment. So let's hop into the front seat. All right, folks, 2017 Honda CRV Touring Edition. A lot of great features in this car. As you can see, I think this is becoming quickly one of my favorite vehicles of all time. Lots of room, lots of features on this car, all for a price under $35,000. And let me just mention a few things before we get into the actual, looking at the front end of the vehicle, the front portion of this vehicle, some of the things that you get with this vehicle. LED headlamps, automatic on-off, variable intermittent wipers, blind spot monitoring, heated power front mirrors and turn indicators, rain sensing wipers, hands-free access tailgate, which we showed you, the spoiler in the back, remote engine start, the smart key system, walk-away auto locks, capless fuel filler, the roof rails, adaptive cruise control with low-speed follow, collision mitigation, forward collision warning, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, road departure mitigation. As you can see, folks, you're getting a lot of money, or a lot of vehicle for the money. $35,000 under that. We're actually at $34,595, and that is complete. Now, typically, you're going to be able to go to the dealer and get a little bit better deal than that. $34,595. Richard, let's show them the side door panel there, the apportionments that are there. Again, nice wood grain styling throughout, nice soft touch, place where you can actually put some more water bottle storage, nice big glove compartment that you'll see over here. Again, very nice styling throughout, nice center console, and I like the way they've done this, where they've got this, this is actually removable and comes out, slides back and forth, so you've got the ability to store things. All of your power ports are down inside, a couple of cup holders, and believe it or not, your phone actually does fit right down in here, and that works out very well. Everything else pretty standard the way Honda does their steering wheel. I love the way they do their volume knob, where you can just take your thumb and run up and down and change the volume accordingly. All of your cruise control settings, lane departure, all of that built right into the wheel. Your lane keep assist and such is over here on the side, as well as your back hatch, and a little sunglass holder here, plus the fancy, mirrors where you can actually see the kids behind. And I should note the sunroof up above, let a little bit more light in actually for the camera. Again, nice apportionments throughout for what I would consider to be and I know at $35,000 you're not going to say an economical, SUV, but really if you think about $35,000 and under SUV, and these things start in the low 20s, you know what, that's a very economical SUV that you can put a lot of people inside of, a lot of capacity inside is what I should say. So I tell you what, with that, let's take a quick drive. I'll show you some of the other features in the nav. It's got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all of that built into the vehicle. Let's take a drive in the 2017 Honda CRV. All right, folks, take a drive now, 2017 Honda CRV. And as I get into some of the center stack, I guess I should say, really easy to navigate, and we've showed you that before on Honda. They've done a great job. I love the matte finish, by the way. It doesn't have a super high gloss, which makes it easier to see in the sun. Heated front seats, which I don't think I talked about. Dual climate control. You control the heated seats here, and the dual climate control, of course, through the just through the knobs. We can turn the heat up a little bit. Actually, it's cold here in Colorado today, so we'll turn that up just a little bit. Gear shift selector is in a great spot, by the way. It does have an economy mode where you can actually hit the button there and it keeps you in the economy mode. Brake hold button, which Richard mentioned earlier in between our takes here, that we're driving a BMW recently, X40, and it's got some of those types of features on it, but yet doesn't have cruise control or adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, and all those things. And one of the things I didn't mention earlier that keeps our mileage up on this car is it's got active shutter system in the grille that actually shuts down and improves the aerodynamics. And we just got done driving a Toyota IM, which is their real small, little kind of compact hatchback car. We're getting better fuel economy with this full-size CRV than in that car. Just something to note. We're doing a couple miles to the gallon better in this car than we are in what I would consider to be a compact, subcompact car. So let's take a quick drive. When I put it into reverse, it does have an automatic brake hold that I've got to take off, or not automatic, or emergency brake, I should say. dynamic grid lines, so you can see us getting real close over here to the curb line. You can follow yourself right up against the curb accordingly. And it does have all of the other indicators. I can actually change the camera view if I would like to see what things look like. Straight down view if you're going to hook up a trailer. And then of course the nice wide sort of a panoramic view if you would. So all those things are built in, and I'm not going to get into all the details of the nav system. It works extremely well. All right, folks, sorry, I had to make a quick battery change there. As I mentioned a moment ago, no physical tune knob on this system. That's probably the only knock that I've got against this entire vehicle. I really wish there was a tune knob over on this side where you could just make the tune rather than having to use the arrows, especially if you're driving down the road. I realize you can use your voice and you can tell it what to turn to and all of that, and I get all of that, but Honda, just a tune knob would be nice to have. And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of younger generation folks out there that feel the same way. Even though they're technologically savvy, you know, it's as easy just to turn the knob and go to the next station as it is to try to talk to it, tell it what to do, and so on. Just Richard, my son, you know, and he's in the younger generation, and myself, that's just one of those things that, you know, we both mentioned. So let's take a quick drive. One of the things I'll tell you about in this car, extremely quiet on the interior. I'm just going to be quiet for a minute, even over these potholes, and let you listen. It's really a quiet cabin on the inside. And you also notice there, this does have the CVT transmission in it. And even when you're trying to pull into traffic and get things wound up, it does not have that typical high revving RPM, you know, engine RPM sound. This thing, I don't know what they've done to make the CVT engage like it does, but with the turbo engine in this car, it just works phenomenal. And again, we're at 32 miles to the gallon, and I've done a lot of city driving here in the last few days, so I've had this thing up as high as 33 miles to the gallon in some of my you know, city highway city combination type driving. Lane mitigation works great in this vehicle, I should say, or lane departure. It literally will steer you and keep you in the lane, and it's one of the better systems that we have found out there. It just works phenomenally well. Again, as you can tell, just hopping out of the RAV4, you know, the previous week to this car, and then having this car this week, I think you can tell really that we're, you know, we're getting to the point where this is becoming one of our favorites in this particular segment. I'm going to pull over here in just a second and get my son Richard's opinion on this. But personally, this is a car that I fell in love with. I love the car. The price point is right. Everything about this car works extremely well. Honda, 2 thumbs up from me.
Absolutely, I would agree with that. As you know, my wife and I were looking for our car, and for her, as we are, you know, adding another member to the family, and this was in the running. We did want a third row, which this doesn't have, but that's, again, it's a different car. You know, the Pilot's going to be more along that lines. But in terms of the value, the safety systems that you get, the car that steers itself, the heated seats, the nice plush interior, got several comments from people saying, this is a Honda in a good way. And so Honda, just 2 thumbs up from us overall. I think that it's a great value for a car.
Yeah, if I had 5 thumbs, I'd give you a 5 thumbs up, because Honda, you did a fantastic job with this car. So if you're in the market for this particular segment of an SUV, you're getting a lot of value for your money. You're getting a lot of interior space. The car is not small in any way, shape, or form. It really feels large, and yet when you drive the car, it feels very small, parks very easily, and the car works phenomenal, but yet has a great ride quality to it at the same time. So, again, all the thumbs up we could give it. Honda CRV 2017, all new for this year. Go check it out at your local Honda dealer, and when you do, tell them John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.